Topic: Support systems in animals, skeleton, types, human skeleton, functions of the skeleton. Aims of lesson. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define basic terminology such as hydrostatic skeleton, endoskeleton, exoskeleton, axis, atlas, etc. Label drawings. Differentiate between a hydrostatic skeleton, exoskeleton, and endoskeleton. Label drawings and identify the different bones and their functions of the human skeleton. Introduction. You have studied animal tissues in Lesson 1 in Grade 10. You have studied the concept of a tissue as a group of similar cells that are adapted for a particular function in Grade 10. Revise the section on bone as a tissue in Lesson 1. Concepts and skills. Below are definitions of some of the terms that you will study under this section. Use your textbook and underline all the new terms/words that you encounter while studying through this section. Use the glossary in your textbook to define these new terms/words. Note: at least 2 marks are awarded if you can define a term correctly in a test or examination. Hydrostatic skeleton, skeleton consisting of a fluid-filled cavity surrounded by muscles. Exoskeleton, external skeleton on the outside of an animal's body. Endoskeleton, internal skeleton on the inside of an animal's body. Foramen magnum, the large opening at the base of the human skull for the spinal cord to pass through. Atlas, first cervical vertebrae. Axis, second cervical vertebrae. Types of skeletons. Skeleton. Examples. Advantages. Disadvantages. Hydrostatic skeleton consists of a fluid-filled cavity surrounded by muscles. Jellyfish, earthworms. Animals do not need a specialized support system. Body is supported by water. Animals cannot perform fast movements. Animal must occur in a moist or aquatic environment. The skeleton limits the size of the animal. Animal is not well protected. Exoskeleton, skeleton that occurs on the outside of an animal's body. Consists of chitin. Invertebrates. The skeleton supports and protects underlying tissues and organs. Provides a place of attachment for muscles. Prevents the animal from drying out. The skeleton limits the size and growth of the animal. Skeleton is impermeable to gases. Endoskeleton. This skeleton occurs on the inside of the animal's body. Consists of bone and cartilage. Vertebrates. Animal can grow to a large size. Protects internal organs. Provides support. Provides place for attachment of muscles. Makes the body flexible for efficient movement. Animal is vulnerable to heat and cold. The human skeleton. The human skeleton can be divided into 2 main sections. Axial skeleton. Appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of the skull, vertebral column, and rib cage. The skull. The skull consists of 2 groups of bones, namely the bones of the cranium and the facial bones. The cranium encloses the brain and protects it. The cranium of apes is smaller than that of humans. There is a large opening at the base of the skull called the foramen magnum for the spinal cord to pass through. In humans, the foramen magnum is located in a more forward position, and this enables humans to walk on 2 legs, a characteristic called bipedalism. In African apes, the foramen magnum is located in a more backward position. Apes generally use all forelimbs for locomotion, and they are quadrupedal. Links with human evolution in Grade 12. The upper jaw of humans is fused to the skull, and the lower jaw articulates with the base of the skull. The jaws of the human are smaller than that of apes. The palate in humans is rounded, whilst the palate in, for example, chimpanzees is rectangular. The upper and lower jaws carry the teeth in humans. Humans have smaller teeth than apes. Links with human evolution in Grade 12. Humans have 4 types of teeth with different functions. Type of teeth. Function. Incisors. Bite and cut off food. Canines. Hold food in place and tear it off. Premolars. Chew and grind the food. Molars. Chew and grind the food. The human dental formula is TUD 1.2.3. TUD 1.2.3. Vertebral column. The vertebral column of humans consists of 33 bones, vertebrae. The first cervical vertebra articulates with the skull and is known as the atlas. This makes nodding movements possible. The second cervical vertebra is called the axis and makes the rotation of the head possible. The human vertebral column is S-shaped for flexibility and shock absorption. The vertebral column in apes is C-shaped, links with human evolution in grade 12. The vertebral column supports the skull. It surrounds and protects the spinal cord. It serves as attachment for the ribs, back muscles, pectoral and pelvic girdles. Rib cage. The rib cage consists of 12 thoracic vertebrae, 12 pairs of ribs, and the sternum. The rib cage protects the organs in the thoracic cavity, e.g. heart and lungs. It plays a role in breathing as the movement of the rib cage increases and decreases the volume of the thoracic cavity, links with gaseous exchange in grade 11. Appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton consists of the pectoral girdle, upper limbs, pelvic girdle, and lower limbs. The pectoral girdle consists of the 2 scapulae and 2 clavicles. Each upper limb consists of different kind of bones, i.e. the humerus, long bone, ulna, largest bone in the forearm, radius, carpals, metacarpals, bones that form the palm of the hand, and phalanges, bones that form the fingers. The pelvic girdle consists of 2 hip bones. The hip bones are made up of 3 fused bones, i.e. the ilium, ischium, and the pubis. The hip bones are attached at the back by the sacrum. The human pelvic girdle is shorter and wider to support the greater weight due to the upright posture of humans. Apes have a longer and narrower pelvic girdle. Links with human evolution in grade 12. Each lower limb consists of the femur, longest and largest bone in the human body, the patella, kneecap, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and the phalanges, toe bones. Humans have shorter arms and longer legs, while apes have shorter legs and longer arms. Links with human evolution in grade 12. Structure of a long bone. All the bones in the upper and lower limbs are long bones, except for the carpals and tarsals. Activity. Use your textbook and diagram below to describe the structure of a long bone. Know the meaning of instructional verbs in test and examination questions, e.g. Instructional verb. Meaning. Name. Give the name of something. Differentiate. Use differences to qualify between 2 or more categories. Tabulate. Draw a table and indicate the answers as direct pairs. Describe. State in sentences the main points of a process. Explain. Give your answer in a cause-effect or statement and reason sequence. Compare. Give similarities and differences between concepts. Answer the following questions. Question 1. State 4 functions of the human skeleton. Question 2. The diagram below represents the human skull. 2.1 To which of the 2 main sections of the skeleton do these structures belong? 2.2 Identify the opening marked X. 2.3 With which vertebra does this part of the skeleton articulate? 2.4 Give the dental formula of a human. Question 3. The diagrams below show the pelvic structure of a male and a female. 1.1 Identify parts A, B, C, and D. 1.2 Suggest a reason why the pelvic girdle needs to be rigid. 1.3 Explain the difference in structure between the male and the female pelvis. Question 4. The diagram below shows the structure of a human vertebrae. 1.1 Identify parts A, B, C, D, E, and F. 1.2 Give the function of the part labeled F. 1.3 How many vertebrae are there in the vertebral column? Common errors made by learners in examinations. A learners not familiar with basic terminology. A learners do not understand instructional verb /s in a question, e.g. the difference between describe and explain. A learner's not able to provide correct labels to drawings/illustrations or make drawings of parts of the skeleton, e.g. a long bone. Activities/assessment. Complete the activities/questions on the sections on the human skeleton in your textbook. Consolidation. Define all the terminology relevant to the topic/s covered in this lesson. A label and draw diagrams. Give functions of different parts of the skeleton. Differentiate between the types of skeletons. Note, the knowledge and skills gained in this section will help you to have a better understanding of the following sections that you still need to deal with in grade 10, 11, and 12. Joints. Muscles. Human evolution in grade 12. Values. By studying and learning about the human skeleton, you will develop a deep understanding of the diseases that may affect the human skeleton, e.g. rickets, osteoporosis, arthritis, etc.